Welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be continuing on with our SwiftUI tutorial series. And in this particular tutorial we are going to be taking a look at a very special kind of view that was introduced in iOS 16 and related operating systems called ViewThatFits. Now, what is ViewThatFits? Well, this view takes in a bunch of different possibilities for how it could render a view or multiple views from like most desired to least desired, and depending on what fits comfortably on the screen, that will get shown. And then every time the view updates, it reevaluates and all that sort of stuff, right? Same as with any other SwiftUI view. Except this view is, as I said, special because you can use this to help you adapt your layouts, your application view layouts, to adapt to everything from the biggest to the smallest of screens. So it's important that we know how this thing works. Now, the example that we're going to be using today is we're going to have two possibilities in our view that fits: an H stack and a V stack of views of rounded rectangles. Each of these is going to be 200 by 200 per rectangle, and then each rectangle is going to be a different color. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. To keep things interesting, what I'm going to do inside of Xcode is at the top here is I'm going to have a private let colors array of color equals, we'll say red, green, blue, purple, pink, orange, and yellow. So we'll have a few different colors here to work with. And what we're going to do is, for every rectangle, we're going to have a random color for each rectangle. So let's go ahead and inside of our body, we will say view that fits. This takes a content closure. So what do we want this view to have inside of it? So we want the most desired result first, and that is our most desired result is to have these in a V stack. So we'll say V stack like that, and then we'll have for each zero dot 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 or less than 3 with an ID of \self, and then we'll say underscore in, and then we'll have a rounded rectangle with a corner radius of, let's say, 20. And then we'll have a fill. And this fill is going to be colors at, or we'll say colors dot random elements, And then we'll have that be, well, we'll force unwrap that because we know we have items inside of that array. And then the frame will have a width of 200 and a height of 200, like that. And then we'll copy this. And then we'll have our second option for SwiftUI to choose from, which is going to be an H stack instead of a V stack. And you could have a third option here as well and have that be a Z stack. But we're going to leave that alone for now. So here we are. We have all of our views constructed. Let's go ahead and save this and run our code. Everything builds. All right. Our simulator has to start up here because the reason why I'm using the simulator instead of running this on Mac is because the simulator as of right now is the best way to display how this works. So here is our V stack of rounded rectangles. You can see it's a V stack because 200 by 200 rounded rectangles with 3 of them would not fit along the width of the screen. So it chooses the V stack instead. But watch what happens when we rotate this to landscape mode. Now, instead of a V stack, it chooses the H stack. And when we change it back to portrait, we get the V stack again. All right. So that pretty much is how ViewThatFits works. You can see we didn't specify any conditionals or anything like that using horizontal and vertical size classes from the environment. ViewThatFits goes and does all of that work for you behind the scenes, which is really, really nice to have. We didn't used to have this before because, again, this was released for iOS 16, so that would have been 2 years ago now, so in 2022. So we didn't have this back in 2019, 2020, and 2021 for the first 3 years of SwiftUI. We had to manually check our size classes to properly adapt our view layouts. So with that being said, that pretty much does it for this video in our series on SwiftUI. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.